And folks, we'll be starting in just a second. Hey, no worries, buddy.
Let's gather from the place. Let's get closer together. All right. So get closer. Don't be afraid of each other. All set.
Well, welcome. Good morning. My name is Francisco Velasquez. I'm the principal here. Want to welcome everybody to Hope High School, Rhode Nation. We're super excited to be here. It is raining outside, but here we're celebrating some of the amazing work that is happening in the building. So I want to welcome everybody, and I do want to welcome our guest. Governor McKee is here, Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, Treasurer Seth Magaziner, Commissioner Angelica Infante-Green, Province Superintendent Javier Montañez, and we have some of our wonderful students here, Alberic Acevedo and Evelyn Minot. They will be speaking about this, around their experience with this project and how it's affecting the students. Again, I want to welcome everybody to this amazing event where we celebrate the work that is happening at Hope High School. And I now want to welcome our Governor, McKee.
Well, good morning, everyone, and it's really great to be here at Hope High School. I visited schools throughout the state of Rhode Island, and Hope High School, we've had several visits here about moving our education forward and investing in our schools. So it's great to be here at Hope High School, and I asked to be here intentionally because of the work that's being done behind us. And I know that many of us have walked through the auditorium over the last several years and have said, what are we doing to help our kids here with the condition of that auditorium. So I think it really speaks for itself that as we're moving forward, and I am going to encourage Sherman to keep working on this project and make sure it's a state-of-the-art, because that's what we want to see not only in the schools in Providence, but we want to see that around the state of Rhode Island. This week alone and last week alone, I was in Pawtucket at a ribbon cutting of a school and a groundbreaking of a school. And it's because seeds were planted a few years back about making sure that we're investing in our schools throughout the state of Rhode Island. And that was with the foresight that predated me as governor. And I know that the treasurer is here, and I know that was certainly one of his big projects that I supported wholeheartedly as lieutenant governor. And now as a governor, I made sure that there's a ballot on there's a question on the ballot this year. And that's one of the reasons that we're here, not only to celebrate what's happening here at Hope High School, but also encouraging the people in the state of Rhode Island to vote for the bond to improve our schools, the $250 million bond, and an additional $50 million that we put in from our surplus, by the way, largest surplus ever managed in the state of Rhode Island. And we use those dollars, 50 million of those dollars, to put into small projects to make sure that every school in the state of Rhode Island has the opportunity to improve their schools. So I want to just thank Lieutenant Governor Matos for being here, Treasurer Magaziner, but really Commissioner Infante-Green, as well as Providence Superintendent Javier Montañez. And also thank to our teachers and our union representatives that are here today, both in our teacher union, but also with our painters and everybody that's in here doing the work. Because as I said over and over and over and over and over again, the best way that we can address any level of economic downturn in the state of Rhode Island is spelled a four-letter word, and it's called JOBS, good paying jobs. That's what's going to insulate us. But also the jobs are critical, but the work is more critical. Because what happens is when we make the investments that we are making, whether it's in our schools or whether it's in our fisheries, whether it's in our ports in Quonset, or whether it's in the new port, in a new seaport in East Providence, or whether it's putting the lights on the Superman building, or building a state health lab downtown Providence, or investing in the city of Pawtucket. The investments that we make today are going to pay big dividends for decades to come. And we're here to talk about the dividends that investment in our schools are going to be realized, because long-term, we need to invest in our schools. And it's also happening in Providence in a way that I don't think that we really have caught up to the work that has happened in Providence over the last couple of years. We keep on referring to a report that was, very condemning of the condition of our schools in Providence, and we're here to tell you that that's no longer the case. And we need to write a new story based on that investment and based on the work that is being done throughout the system to help our students, to help our teachers, achieve levels that are going to be important to the state of Rhode Island. And that's why we had Dr. Joe Biden here visiting last week, talking about moving Rhode Island College in a direction of excellence. And that excellence is about recruiting, retaining, and respecting our teachers. So that's what this is about here today. And we know that I've been at groundbreakers at Rogers High School, New Elementary School in Johnston. We've been in Pawtucket, as I've said. We know that there's work and renovations going on throughout all 39 cities and towns. Cumberland, my hometown, Lincoln, Cranston, East Providence, Portsmouth, and Achievement First. We're investing in all our schools because it's the right thing to do for our students. And I've said publicly that this investment that we're making is going to help us realize the goal of meeting Massachusetts standards on education on or before 2030. That's why our budget this year includes an additional $300 million to make needed upgrades and build new schools throughout the state, because we know there is great need. And because of that, we need Rhode Islanders to stand with our kids, stand with our schools, stand with our teachers, and vote yes on question 4 on November 8th. We are also here to announce the launch of the next statewide facility condition assessment known as the Jacobs School Assessment, which was last done in 2017. And I was asking the commissioner, when is that going to be done again? Because it is time that that report is done. And I got the answer. It's going to be done this year. And we like that. This will help us make smart decisions about where we invest next. We've already started to put this work in motion by issuing requests for proposals. We look forward to seeing the results of the proposals, and then we look forward to finishing that report so that we can update the people of the state of Rhode Island where we are on facilities and the investments that have been made, and the idea that we can be the very best, and we will. So before I wrap up, I'd like to make a last call to action for all Rhode Islanders. Vote yes on November 8th. You'll be voting for a better, brighter future for all the residents in the state of Rhode Island by helping and assisting the students in the state of Rhode Island and helping our administrators, our teachers, and the people that work in our schools each and every day when they turn on the lights and to make sure that the schools are safe and warm and dry. But that's not enough. Safe, warm, and dry, that's a good first step. About excellence. Excellence in our schools, and this bond is going to help us continue the work that started, as I said, before I became governor, but we're going to continue this work now during the time frame that I am governor. So with that, I'd like to have Lieutenant Governor Matos come up and talk a little bit about her experience in Providence and now as the statewide office holder.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. It is so great to be back here in Providence, and especially being here at Hope High School. As I walked through the door, I almost couldn't recognize the place. This is amazing, and this is the way it should be for every single building in the city of Providence and in every school throughout the 39 cities and towns of the state of Rhode Island. I want to remind everyone about the conditions that the school was in before. And if you can go and take out some of the pictures from before, or videos, because there's plenty of videos from before, just do a before and after, so you can really appreciate the improvement that have been made in this place. And this is the type of place in which our kids, our students should be coming to learn. In a place that shows that we care about them and that we value them. But also as important is to make sure that our teachers and the staff understand that this is a place that they can work on, and that it's a place in which they're gonna be respected and acknowledged, and that we're thinking about the conditions around them when they're working. So I want to congratulate the school for getting to this point right now. I want to thank Governor McKee for his commitment to education and his commitment to making sure that every community in the state of Rhode Island has a school that looks like this, that is warm, safe, and healthy for the students and for the staff that work there. So thank you, Governor McKee. I want to thank the commissioner for making this a priority. Thank you, Commissioner, for doing the work that you have been doing to ensure that our school buildings get to a level of healthiness that is acceptable. So thank you for doing that. And of course, Treasurer Magaziner has made this a priority for in his term as a treasurer. He made sure that we were putting the resources needed to ensure that every school get fixed and is clean, safe, dry, and it's a decent place for people to work and for the students to learn. So as you see, this is a teamwork. This is how things get done. And I'm so glad that I'm able to work with this team every single day. And I'm so glad that we have the Superintendent Montanez who understand the challenges that the students go through from the get-go, because he experienced this himself from being a student, being a teacher, being a principal, and also being the superintendent. So thank you for the work that you do, but most especially, I want to say to the students, congratulations. This is what you deserve and way more. This is just the beginning. Know that we're going to continue to work really hard until every single school in the state of Rhode Island is fixed, is warm, dry. In the lighting, just the lighting makes such a huge difference. Again, if you walked through this door before, it was just unbelievable, the change from what we have right now to the way it was before. So with that, I want to thank, I have a special connection with Mr. B. Mr. B, I'm so glad to be here with you. Thank you for hosting us. But with that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Treasurer Magaziner.
So yes, every student in Rhode Island deserves to go to a school that is safe and warm and dry and equipped for 21st century learning. And every teacher deserves to go to work in a building that is safe and warm and dry and gives them the tools that they need to do their jobs. 5 years ago, then Governor Raimondo asked me to lead a task force to come up with a plan to repair school buildings across the state of Rhode Island. Because we had school buildings that were unsafe, that were crumbling, water coming through the ceilings, mold, asbestos, and also buildings that weren't equipped to give teachers and students the tools that they need to do their jobs. Not enough science labs, not enough CTE, career and technical facilities, not enough early childhood facilities. And with the support of many people, including many people in this room, the governor when he was lieutenant governor, the lieutenant governor when she was on the city council, our friends from the teachers unions and the building trades who are here, we did something incredible in Rhode Island. We passed a once-in-a-generation plan to transform school buildings all across the state. 4 years ago, it was on the ballot and was approved by about 3/4 of the voters, so it was a landslide approval by the voters of Rhode Island. Since then, the results have come quickly. We have already allocated more than $2 billion to repair or replace over 200 school buildings in Rhode Island. That's a majority of the public school buildings in Rhode Island. And you can see the impact all across the state. Right now, new elementary schools being built in Johnston and Cranston, new high schools that have been or are being built in East Providence and Newport and Central Falls and maybe soon Warwick. The list goes on and on. Here in Providence alone, 30 buildings have already been approved to be renovated or replaced, including here at Hope High School. These projects all together have created more than 25,000 construction jobs and are benefiting over 100,000 students annually. But the work is not done. As the governor and the lieutenant governor said, the work is not done. We have to keep going. And I want to give them a lot of credit, not only for putting a new bond on the ballot for the voters to consider to continue this progress, but also for putting additional funding, some of the state stimulus funding, into school buildings as well. That is a sign that our elected leaders in Rhode Island know that the children of Rhode Island have to be a priority. And that's not the case everywhere. So we're very fortunate here in Rhode Island that we have leaders who get it and who understand that this kind of work, like what is happening here at Hope High School, has to be the priority. I'm urging all Rhode Islanders to vote yes on question 2 so that we can continue the progress repairing and replacing schools all across Rhode Island until every single child can go to a school that is safe, warm, dry, and equipped for 21st century learning. Vote yes on question 2. With that, I want to leave my final recognitions, to the people who are doing the real work. Principal V and the administrators and educators here in this building and across the state of Rhode Island. I used to be a teacher myself. It's a wonderful job, but it's not always an easy job, so thank you for everything that you do. I want to thank the team at the Rhode Island School Building Authority, Mario Carreño and Joe De Silva, the team there. They do a fantastic job. I will say, when we passed the school construction program 4 years ago, we got almost everything that we asked for from the legislature and the former governor. We got $250 million bond, we got more money in the state budget, we got a whole system set up to allocate the money. The one thing that we did not get that we wanted was some more staff support for the school building authority, because they had a lot more work. And so maybe that's something next year that you guys can take a look at, is giving them the help that they need. But they do a terrific job. And finally, my last recognition and my introduction is for Commissioner Angelica Infante-Green, who I believe I met for the first time actually in this building when she first came here and was doing a series of listening tours around Providence and around Rhode Island to hear from teachers and students and community members about what their priorities were. There are a lot of people, I shouldn't say this, there are some people in government across the country who like fancy titles and like seeing their name on a wall and are in it for that recognition. But then there are other people who come in because they want to get things done and are never satisfied because they know that we can always do better. And the commissioner is somebody who is never satisfied, is always looking to do better for Rhode Island children, and has been a tremendous supporter of the school construction program. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Commissioner Angelica Infante-Green.
Good morning, everyone. I have to tell you that I am so excited. I'm giddy right now because, as the treasurer just said, we came in here and we were sitting in the auditorium, broken chairs, but it was snowing. And what I mean by that is that there was plastic falling on us as we were standing there. And to have this school be named Hope High School and to be sitting in an auditorium under those conditions was shameful. But what we have right now is a commitment from everyone that you see here to do better. No more warm, safe, and dry. That is just the minimum. What we're doing is pushing the envelope. And I want to thank all our partners. Governor McKee, Sabina Matos, who's always pushing, and Treasurer. You have made this your priority, and I can't thank you enough. Because we walk into buildings, and it sends a signal to the students and the staff. It sends a signal about where we're going. what we invest and what we mean about a 21st century education. You can't have that in a crumbling building. So what we're doing here today is really monumental. This auditorium, you may be saying it's just an auditorium, but it's not. It is about hope. It is about what can happen in these four walls, that our students can actually have theater arts. Can you imagine that? This was once a beacon for the arts, and it will be again. This is the first symbol as we move forward. So it is pretty incredible for us, but we don't do this by ourselves. This takes a team, because an auditorium in a school should be a warm, welcoming, and exciting place to come every day. So I have to start by thanking Downs Construction, Shaman, PPSD, working hard every day to breathe life into what we are calling a welcoming and an exceptional space for our students and educators, a place of pride for our community. This renovation and all the work happening in our schools throughout the state demonstrates to everyone that education is a priority. So I know that the last few years, this work has been started since 2018. $250 million statewide construction bond. However, I have to thank Mario and the team, because in the past, what we were doing was patching up roofs, just doing HVAC. It's not about that. It is about changing how we teach and we learn, and that starts with the building. And Mario and the team don't want to hear about just fixing broken windows. It is about changing what we do in our classroom. So the completion of Winters Elementary School in Pawtucket, new schools under construction in Cranston, Newport, and Johnston. That's amazing. That's monumental. The renovations span our entire state. But I really have to thank our governor and our General Assembly for prioritizing school construction in the budget to the tune of $300 million. Governor, thank you. You already heard this. We have to keep up the momentum. November, remember, question 2. Vote yes. $250 million state bond referendum. I know that you might be saying, yes, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of votes, but that is a vote that we all need to make. That's a vote towards progress. So I want to be clear that that's not the only thing we're doing. We have many other things in the queue. This bond is an additional $1.3 billion in school construction bonds on local ballots for new schools this fall. In Providence, I don't want to confuse anyone, but in Providence, it's question 4, $125 million local bond proposal. So if you live in Providence, si viven en Providence, por favor, voten sí al número 4. Para el estado entero, voten sí para el número 2. Eso significa que vamos a ver unas escuelas como esta, como ustedes van a entrar, que se valora la educación de los niños. This is nearly $5 million school construction plan for PPSD. That's right, $500 million. Governor just said, we are going to be the best. But Governor, we're already there. Thank you. So the work being done, brick by brick, it is not just about the building. We're tearing down low expectations, giving the students what they deserve, and we're thrilled to share this progress. And what's ahead for Rhode Island is in this report. If you have not seen it, please pick it up, because it talks about all the work that's been done and all the work that will continue to move forward. And it is renewing the dream. So a shout out for PCTA High School for printing this for us, because we keep investing in our schools and our building. So I want to thank all of you, because our goal, in particular Providence, is about newer and fewer. We're not going to keep putting money in buildings that will keep needing these repairs. Newer and fewer. Our students, our staff deserve to be in the very best. So that is what we're doing here today. And I feel very lucky to be here with my partners in government, because this doesn't just happen by accident. And I'm lucky enough to have another partner on the ground in Providence. No further ado, I'd like to introduce my colleague, my friend, Dr. Javier Montañez.
follow that. So first of all, thank you, Commissioner. Some of you may already have known, I attended Hope High School several decades ago, but I won't give you my birthday. It's when I walk in, is what I feel when I walk into these doors. I know what it is for our students and our teachers and our faculty, and what they feel when they continue to walk into buildings that have not been worked on for decades. And when I walk in through these doors and when we're having these wonderful, terrific projects that's going around in the district, and I look at the entrance and I look at the work that's being done, it gives you chills. Because as a student, when I first came in, I remember what it looked like. Decades later, it still looked and smelled exactly what it smelled like when I was a student. And when I walked in here again, I've been here a couple of times this week, but when I walked in again this morning, and I see the circle with hope, I see the entrance, I see the future, I see the safety of our students, the safety of our teachers, and the continued work that's happening here in Providence. It's nothing short than a miracle. And everyone that you see behind me deserves a huge round of applause, because once again, this isn't by chance. So let's give them a big round of applause. But once again, we also want to make sure that we understand, as we continue to build our schools, we're going to continue to build fewer and newer schools. Schools that are taking us into the 21st century. Schools that are going to need to make sure that professional development is going to happen for teachers, because when the buildings that we're designing are not our normal everyday building, they're 21st century. There's a different way of teaching in these buildings. So we're going to make sure that they get the professional development that they need, because as we continue to build our fewer and newer schools, they're going to look like this, and they're going to look better than this, and they're going to keep growing. And then pretty soon you're going to see that the stories in Providence are going to be changing. The students are going to be receiving the education that they deserve. The teachers are going to be receiving rooms, equipment, everything they need to be teaching the 21st century, because they deserve that. They don't deserve anything less than that. And it just gives me chills knowing that I am just a small part of all the work that we're doing in Providence. And it's so much to say. I can't wait for my students to understand that we care for them. I want the teachers to understand that we care about them. And this is why all these projects are going. So we're going to continue to do these. We're going to continue to build schools, fewer and newer schools, which is going to meet that 21st century skill. And I want to say thank you to our governor. I want to say thank you to our lieutenant governor. I want to say thank you to our treasurer, our partners at Rhode, and also making sure our partners in the city, and never forget our voters. Make sure you go out and vote, as they were said before, because when you vote, this will continue to happen. This is what we're setting up for. So say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everyone that's doing this work. And this is about our students. And if this is about our students, we should hear from our students. So I would like to introduce Albert Acevedo and Evelyn Nemo from Hope High School.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Nemo, and I'm a senior at Hope High School. I'm currently in the theater program, so when I heard about this renovation in the theater, I was very happy, because we've done 2 productions in the small theater, which was amazing, but the small theater was very small. But as the renovation goes on in the theater, it's just so great to showcase our talents and just invite the community to see what Hope students can bring, and just so much more. So, yeah.
Hello, my name is Albert Acevedo. I attend Hope High School. I am a junior here. And referring to what my friend Evelyn here was speaking about, this is just all this is all part of a small domino effect. It starts with the entrance, then the auditorium, and to the bubblers. We were all requesting fresh water, and we got our fresh water. And this is all part of a small inspiration. And from this freedom to acting, from doing things that we all love to do, it goes on to say that this school is a very free school. We can express our religion, our languages, our ethnicities. Here in Hope High School, this is far more than just being students. This is about being the future. And here I would like to thank our commissioner and our governor, and I would like to thank everyone that is a part of this, because we are simply just small pieces to the puzzle that we are building. This is a bigger picture. It's bigger than us. It's about our kids' kids. It's about our grandparents, everyone that is a part of this, the people that made us, the people that will continue to make impacts on this high school and other high schools. This is about us reaching our full potential. Thank you.
With that, can we give our speaker one more round of applause, please? We didn't mention just a lot of work and commitment to bring something like this together. We're very humble. We're happy to see this project coming to life here at our school. Gracias. Remember, voting 2 en el estado entero. La pregunta número 4 en Providencia. So 2 at the state level. Number 4 in Providence. Thank you very much.
Okay.